Hey everyone, welcome back to the Easy English Hub podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm thrilled you're joining us today. Whether you're a regular listener or tuning in for the very first time, we're really excited to have you with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Henry. Today, we're diving into a topic that's a bit tough, but something many of us can relate to: betrayal. Emma, how's your day going so far?
It's going well, Henry. I'm honestly feeling really pumped for today's discussion because betrayal is something almost everyone experiences at some point, yet it's not always easy to talk about.
Exactly. Betrayal can hit from anywhere: a close friend, a family member, even a coworker, and it can completely shake how we trust people. That's why today's conversation is so important.
Absolutely. We'll explore what betrayal feels like, how it affects relationships, and ways to cope with it. Plus, we'll share personal stories, reflections, and some practical tips for moving forward when trust has been broken.
And before we dive deep, let's welcome our vocabulary expert, Charlotte. She'll explain some key words and phrases that will help you better understand today's topic. Charlotte, thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Henry. I'm excited to be here, and I'll make sure everyone walks away understanding all the important terms related to betrayal. Stick around because I'll explain everything at the end of today's episode.
Thanks, Charlotte. Now, back to our main discussion. Betrayal is deeply personal and emotional. Everyone experiences it differently. Henry, have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted?
Unfortunately, yes. I think most of us have at some point. For me, it happened at work a few years ago. A coworker I really trusted took credit for a project I'd spent weeks on. It completely caught me off guard and left me feeling blindsided.
That sounds so frustrating. And it's always harder when it comes from someone close to you, right? Someone you never expect would hurt you.
Exactly. It's not just the immediate hurt, but it also makes you question your trust in everyone else around you. Emma, what about you? Have you had a personal experience with betrayal?
Yes, sadly. There was a time when a close friend shared something very personal that I had confided in her. It felt like my trust had been completely shattered. I couldn't help but question all my friendships after that.
I completely understand. Betrayal doesn't just affect the relationship with that one person, it can ripple into how we trust others.
Exactly. And in the workplace, it can be just as tough. When you rely on someone professionally and they take advantage of your effort, it leaves a lasting impact. It can make you more guarded, more cautious about opening up in the future.
Yes, betrayal often forces us to put up walls, but it's also a learning experience. It teaches us who we can trust and how to set boundaries going forward.
Absolutely. Speaking of impact, let's talk about the emotional side of betrayal. When someone betrays you, it's not just feeling hurt. It can affect your self-esteem, your confidence, and even your sense of security in relationships.
Right. Betrayal makes you question your choices, your judgment, and even your worth in the relationship. For me, after that workplace incident, I started doubting my abilities. I kept thinking, was I too naive to trust him?
Yes, that self-doubt is so common. You start second-guessing yourself, wondering if you should have seen it coming. And sometimes it even makes you suspicious in future relationships, even when there's no real reason to doubt someone.
Exactly. You end up on edge, expecting bad things to happen, which makes it harder to truly connect with others.
It's emotionally exhausting. You want to protect yourself, but at the same time, you miss out on deeper connections because of those walls. And once they're up, it's tough to bring them down.
That's the hardest part, learning to trust again while being smart about it. You don't want to close yourself off completely, but you also don't want to be hurt the same way twice.
Absolutely. It's all about balance. Part of it is recognizing when it's okay to let go of fear and when to create boundaries that protect your emotional health. You can trust again, but more mindfully.
Exactly. And this leads us to an interesting question. Why do people betray others? It's natural to focus on the hurt, but understanding why it happens is key to moving forward.
Absolutely. Betrayal isn't always about malice. Sometimes it comes from fear, insecurity, or self-preservation. For example, someone might betray a friend because they fear losing status, a relationship, or even control in a situation.
And in professional settings, betrayal can be driven by ambition. People might try to get ahead by taking credit for others' work or gaining favor with a boss. Selfish motives often play a big role, but it's rarely simple.
Right. Sometimes betrayal isn't intentional either. Emotional immaturity can play a role. People might not fully understand the damage they're causing because they're focused on their own needs.
That's such a key point. Betrayal often reflects the insecurities or weaknesses of the person doing it, not your worth. Understanding that doesn't erase the hurt, but it can help you separate their actions from your own value.
Exactly. You start to see that their betrayal might be about their struggles, fear, jealousy, insecurity, not about you personally.
Still, understanding the why doesn't automatically heal the emotional impact. So, how do we move forward?
Moving forward is a challenge, and there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. For some people, it starts with forgiveness, not just forgiving the other person, but forgiving yourself for trusting them.
Yes, and forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean letting that person back into your life. It's about letting go of anger and resentment so you're not carrying that weight. It's about freeing yourself.
Another crucial step is setting boundaries. After betrayal, it's natural to want to protect yourself. Boundaries help you rebuild trust without losing yourself. You can be open to new relationships, but now you understand what you will and won't tolerate.
Reflection is also important. Betrayal can be a painful teacher, but it shows you what truly matters in relationships: honesty, loyalty, and communication. It helps you understand your values better.
And remember, healing takes time. There's no rush. Moving forward is about regaining peace and rebuilding trust, not just in others, but in yourself.
Ultimately, moving forward is about growth. It's about learning from the experience, setting healthier boundaries, and being more mindful of who you let into your life. It's a journey, but one that makes you stronger.
Before we wrap up, let's bring Charlotte back to go over some of the key terms we discussed today. Charlotte, over to you.
Thanks, Emma. Let's quickly review betrayal, when someone you trust breaks that trust. Example, she felt a deep sense of betrayal when her friend shared her secret. Guarded, being cautious about opening up after being hurt. Example, after being betrayed by her colleague, she became more guarded. Boundaries, limits we set to protect ourselves emotionally. Example, he set boundaries with friends to avoid being hurt again. Self-esteem, your confidence and sense of worth. Example, her self-esteem dropped after the betrayal. Self-doubt, questioning your own decisions or abilities. Example, he constantly questioned his judgment after being betrayed. Naive, overly trusting or inexperienced. Example, feeling naive for trusting someone who betrayed him. Suspicious, feeling cautious or distrustful. Example, she became suspicious of anyone who got close after betrayal. Malice, desire to harm someone. Example, they acted out of malice to get revenge. These words help us understand betrayal from start to finish, from the initial hurt to the long journey of healing and growth.
Thanks, Charlotte. That really clarifies the important concepts.
Yes, absolutely. Understanding these terms helps us put words to our feelings and make sense of our experiences.
We've covered a lot today, and we truly hope it gave you insight into betrayal, why it happens, and how to move forward.
Exactly. Learning from these experiences can help rebuild trust and strengthen future relationships.
We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever experienced betrayal? Are you working on moving forward? Share your story in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going.
Your stories might help someone else who's facing the same struggles. We'll be reading and responding to your comments.
Thanks again for joining us today on Easy English Hub. If today's episode was helpful, Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need this.
And hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. We've got many more insightful conversations coming your way.
Until next time, take care of yourself, stay strong, and keep learning.
See you soon.
Bye, everyone. Your progress doesn't end here. Continue advancing your English by clicking on the next video or exploring other videos we've carefully selected just for you.